Hey everybody, what's up? It's Zare. Belrose here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle content in the spookiest of varieties. That's right. This week is the Halloween Cup, and I finally get to play with my Shadow Scizor because we got TM Frustration event last week, and I took full advantage of it. TM'd a ton of stuff off of TM Frustration off a ton of stuff. Shadow Scizor came to me and is like, dude, let's play some Halloween Cup. So I've got Jellicent Quillfish in the back to counter the fire, and I just did general coverage. You know, it's this really to cover the fire and the Mawles, but it really just provides like really good coverage against what Scizor is weak to. Except for Mandibuzz. To be honest, I'm a little ABA weak to Mandibuzz, but it's okay. We handle Mandibuzz. You're going to see in this video. Let's check out these battles real quick. I want to shout out to my patron supporters and all the new followers that I've gained over the social media channels. I want to appreciate all of you guys, and I thank you all very much for supporting me, even if it's just a follow or a subscription on Patreon. I appreciate all of you. But if you want to become one of my patrons and get early access to these teams, meta tips, roster planning, and everything else under the sun, go ahead and check out the link in the description, and I would love to see you in that server. It's got a Discord, and we're all a happy little family there. So anyway, let's get these battles rolling right now. First battle here, we're going to have the Shadow Scizor on the lead, and it's going to be up against the Nidoqueen. And this is exactly why I chose Shadow Scizor, because I see Nidoqueens all over the place, and this entire team beats the Nidoqueen. So because I've got two very solid interested Nidoqueen in the back, I'm not swapping out, even though the Sableye comes in. I can outpace the Sableye to 3 moves. Or just bullet punch down from here because they let one through, which is their mistake. So I'm going to shield this. I'm going to win the alignment battle here, which really isn't much of an alignment battle. They just want to try and keep their Nidoqueen away from my Scizor, which makes complete sense. However, no, it's not happening, but they do have a shield advantage, so I have to be careful about that. I'm pretty confident, though, that Nidoqueen's not going to have a lot of play against the rest of this team, so it really is going to come down to what comes in, and it's a Mandibuzz. I'm immediately sending in my Quillfish. I have 2 ways to win this game here. Now, I'm either going to be able to get a move off on the Mandibuzz from my Shadow Scizor if I can get it low enough, or I can just throw Sludge Waves and bait shields at this point. I'm going to throw the big move because I almost never shield the big move, and it doesn't land. It's shielded, but that's fine. I want the shields. Jellicent with Bubble and Ice Beam. I hate running the Bubble Beam version because I don't like playing that bait game, and Bubble Beam does like no damage. I can handle this Mandibuzz as long as I know that I can get there before they can beat me to 2 moves, because the Mandibuzz basically needs 2 foul plays to take out a Jellicent, even in the 0 shield. So if I get health right now where I've got it, the Ice Beam is enough to take it out if I can just get there. So here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to wait the switch clock a bit. I'm going to bring in my Scizor because, again, I know they're not going to bring the Nidoqueen into this. I'm going to go ahead and try and threaten this last shield with a Night Slash, and they let it go, and that's fine. So I'm going to bullet punch down. I'm going to let them hit me with this, I believe. No, last second I decided to shield it. Okay, I think hindsight, I probably would have been better off not shielding that, but that's okay. Nidoqueen without the Shadow Boost cannot take out my Jellicent, even with an Earth Power. It's going to need to hit me Poison Fang at least once or twice and then hit me with an Earth Power. But by then, I'm already at the Ice Beam. I'm going to go for Shadow Ball here because I would like to try and play mind games with my opponent. I kind of know they're going to shield this anyway. But they don't, and that's my mistake. But I'm going to Bubble Down, and that is going to allow me to get to my opponent to surrender. That's fine. But my win cons were kind of clear there. I still had Scizor alive with a little bit of HP, and I get an amazing lead here with the Victory Bell. I would have been able to Bubble Down the Mandibuzz too. It's fine. Alright, so they come in with Jellicent. Jellicent is not a counter swap to a Scizor, even though it resists the bullet punches. It doesn't resist Night Slash, and a Night Slash will take out half its HP, and now, because I have so much farm, I'm going to be able to actually force a shield straight off of my opponent here, which is really, really huge. And by staying in here is fine. I'm going to throw a shield at myself. I would like to get rid of this Jellicent because I can't really swap in my own Jellicent. And I certainly can't swap in a Quillfish unless they're down a shield and within range for a Sludge Wave. So what I'm doing here, now that I know that they have Bubble Beam, is I'm going to try and get the last shield because they really wanted to get that energy off, not for some reason thinking they weren't going to live in Aqua Tail. They're going to get the Shadow Ball off. I'm going to soak it here, and they're going to come back in with the Victory Bell, which is completely fine with me because now I can keep my own Scizor on it, and I can shield this move, farm it down, and my opponent is now shieldless against Shadow Scizor, and that's not good for them. So, Scizor takes down the Victory Bell, and what comes in but the Jellicent? Gonna get this Night Slash off and take out the Jellicent and find out what's in the back that really doesn't want to see Scizor, because why would they bring in Jellicent into a loaded Scizor if it wasn't Deden? Alright, so Deden's gonna be able to farm me down, dude. I thought I was gonna live with like 1 HP, so this is actually not great. Now, unfortunately, I don't win. Because my opponent's now at 2 discharges. I thought I was going to be able to get to an Iron Head before they were able to farm me down. And honestly, I probably should have just come straight in with the Jellicent. So that was kind of my own mistake there. Had I come straight in with Jellicent, I would have been able to get to a move before they got to 2 discharges. And I would have probably been able to punch down with Scizor afterwards. So that's a good game to my opponent. Mistake on my part. It happens. Love Dedenne, though, in this meta. I was running it myself with Frostlass and Quillfish. Quillfish is cracked in this meta, dude. You're going to see, I don't know if it's this game, but one of these games, Quillfish is going to solo a whole team. Monster. Not a sponsor, but I wish they were. Sludge Bomb. You don't throw Sludge Bomb at Scizor. Unless it's just a single move Drapion. This is not... You throw Crunch or you throw Aqua Tail. You'd never throw... It's Steel type. It double resists poison. I wish I had shielded that, but I'm going to no-shield this because I'm pretty certain that I can survive a Crunch from this range, but they throw another Sludge Bomb. I'm really not sure why. But at this point, I can shield and farm down because they've emptied out all of their energy, so I will commit my last shield to this Drapion and farm down. I'm not really sure why they're throwing Sludge Bombs into my Scizor. It's more energy and it does a lot less damage. And I mean, if that's what they want to do, that's fine. But they found out pretty quickly that it's not going to work out for them. And they come in with a Scrafty, which is okay. They're up a shield, though, I believe. Yeah, they're up the shield. So I'm going to come in with Jellicent. Because I have Bubble, this is not a horrible matchup. And I actually can survive the... I can survive the move here. Even they throw a foul play. They could throw a foul play. They could throw... Well, they can't throw two. They could throw 2 foul plays. But I am going to go ahead and get the shield off of my opponent here. Getting some bubbles in just to make sure that I get a little bit of extra fast move damage through. Going to throw this Ice Beam, force that shield off my opponent. So they're going to throw the foul play most likely because otherwise they lose because they have to get to another move before I do. So they're going to throw right before I get to the Ice Beam here, throw the foul play. And now what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to come in with Quillfish and farm down. But they come in with Nidoqueen, and Nidoqueen is not a counter swap to Quillfish. Quillfish is going to be able to take this Nidoqueen out before it can even get to an Earth Power, and they're going to just give up. That's all right. Good game. I kind of hard BS'd them at the end there, but that's okay. That's what Quillfish is there for. All right, Umbreon is a very not great lead. Kind of wish I was running Fury Cutter for this one, but that's okay. Bullet Punch is overall better in this meta, I think. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go to Iron Head, you know? Sometimes they don't shield, and if they don't shield, then that's good for me. I really want to get this Umbreon the heck out of here, so I am going to save swap into Quillfish after I've banked a ton of energy on my Scizor. The reason why I do this is because if I can come in later and just hammer something with Scizor and I can threaten shields with Quillfish on the save swap, I just need to keep this thing away from my Jellicent is really what it comes down to. So I'm going for the big move. I'm going to go for the Sludge Wave, see if my opponent decides to shield it up or not. And kind of going to play it out from here. So they don't shield, so I could now go for Aqua Tails, and I could bait shields for my opponent. I will let this go. I know a foul play doesn't do a whole lot of damage. I am worried that they have Psychic, and I figure if they do, then so be it. At least then I know that they have it. But I'm going to start going for Aqua Tails here after building up a bunch of energy. Another little tip here, if you're the 2-move user, Poison, Sting versus Snarl, you typically want to be throwing with good timing at 1 or 4 or 7. That way that they only get 1 turn of free energy. They're going to come in with Frostlass. Now, I've got a loaded Quillfish. And these Aqua Tails do chunk a lot out of Frostlass, so they're going to have to start shielding before they can even get to an Avalanche here. Let's see if my opponent decides to try and farm me down or not. Now, remember, I have a ton of energy on Scizor. This is going to come in very handy now that the Umbreon is out of the picture. So, does my opponent get there? No, they do not throw before I get to a 3rd Aqua Tail, and they're going to have to threaten. I'm threatening this last shield. I'm going to take it. I want the last shield. My opponent really, really wants to farm me down, but they're not going to be able to get there and farm me down before Qwilfish comes in with another Aqua Tail to threaten their other shield. Greedy. They're so greedy. And then my Scizor comes in and just snipes him down, dude. And they didn't even have time to react before Scizor came in and they just quit. I bet they had a Nidoqueen in the back. They always do. Alright, Fortress lead. This is not great, but at the same time, I know this thing usually rocks Earthquake, so I'm kind of at an impasse as to what to do, but I do know that the Bug Bites are heavily resisted from Scizor, so I'm just going to stay in here, and I'm going to play these Night Slashes, see if I get a boost maybe or something, make something happen here. I've also never played this matchup out, considering that I am a fairly new Shadow Scizor owner, so just kind of feeling this one out here. But I could easily come in with Qwilfish. The resisted poison damage is not ideal, but the Aqua Tails do come out very quickly. I do shield. My opponent is going to bait here because they know that I will shield. But is just a Mirror Shot, and that's fine. I don't even get an attack debuff. Now, they threw this way too quick. I know that Bug Bite takes a little while. I don't know the counts, but I know it gets a little while to get to it, an Earthquake. So they come in with Tyranitar, and I throw the Night Slash just to give myself a chance to think here. This is actually really good. I'm going to come in with Jellicent. Look at how much damage these bubbles are doing, dude. I'm just going to be able to farm this thing down before it even gets to the crunch. Look at it. Bam! Takes out the Tyranitar, the fearsome Glass Cannon with rocks. And then they're going to come back in with Forretress, and I'm looking to throw an Ice Beam. I don't know why I throw the Ice Beam. I think what I was looking to do, I don't know if I take this out, but I think I was looking to get some extra farm. But I take it out anyway with the Ice Beam. And then my opponent has Qwilfish, and they are completely hard countered to get the Jellicent. They have to go for at least a Sludge Wave and then some. I don't need to shield anything yet. So I'm going to go for a couple Shadow Balls here before, and they should be able to get there. But they don't shield that one because I think they know they live it. But now their health is so low that I could easily fast move down with anything on my team here. Okay, so they go for the Sludge Wave. Doesn't even take out the Jellicent. And they give up because they know they lost. Shadow Scizor could have come in and got a couple bullet punches off, and that was it. So, good game to my opponent. Very well played, but Shadow Scizor, man. All right, Toxicroak is a really, really rough lead here. It does have Mud Bomb, which really threatens my Qwilfish. So if they decide to stay in, which they do, I actually opt to threaten with an Aqua Tail, even if it's like a Nidoqueen, or really anything that doesn't take resistant damage from Aqua Tail. I will threaten them by, I will punish them to stay in by threatening them with the Aqua Tail damage. You see, it almost did half of that Toxicroak's HP. And they're going to come in with Mandibuzz after getting the shield off of me by hitting me with the damn Mud Bomb. That's what I hate about Toxicroak, because it does have the Mud Bomb. And it makes it very hard to counter it with a Poison type. And I just know how much damage that Toxicroak could do to my Scizor. That's why I swapped out. So they come in with the Mandibuzz, and they eat the entire... They eat the entire Sludge Wave, so I'm going to let it go down. I'm going to try to come in, and I'm just going to punch down with Scizor, and I'm going to throw the Night Slash right before they get to a move. Excuse me. And I want to see if they're going to shield this or not. Now, they decide not to shield this, and they apparently weren't in a move where they overtapped, and I get a sharp increase to my attack. No. Oh, it's a goat. It's a literal goat. Alolan Marowak comes in. Gets a couple of huge fire spins off on me, but now I know that my Jellicent is going to be able to easily hard counter the rest of this team. I am going to hard farm down this whole entire Toxicroak because they can't do any damage to me that I'm worried about. I will farm them all the way down, and I'm going to have almost 2 Shadow Balls to throw at this Marowak before they get to a move. Again, they've only thrown just 2 fire spins, and my opponent knows that they're going to lose, and they quit. And we get a little bit of a pause here because the game is slow. Let me know in the comments how GBL's been doing for you guys, dude. It's been really, really bad for me lately. I'm not gonna lie. Scrafty lead. This is really bad, dude. Scrafty lead's really bad. I have no choice but to bail to Qwilfish. And my opponent... Do you see what they did? Everyone? Do you all see? I would like to remind the entire population that plays Pokemon Go that Azumarill is not a hard counter or even a soft counter or even a reasonable thing to swap into a Qwilfish. Now, if my opponent's best response is this, and they built up the Hydro Pump, so I'm going to respect it and then farm it all the way down. But if my opponent's best response to my Qwilfish is an Azu, I'm going to shield it to keep it healthy. Now, they're going to come in with Drapion. I think that they should have come in with a Drapion, honestly. I think that may have been a misclick on my opponent's part. But let's see how this plays out. I'm going to go, and I have so much energy, I'm just going to go for a ton of Aqua Tails here. And I take resisted damage from the Scrafty's counters. So when the Scrafty comes back in, hopefully I'll be able to threaten it with some energy. And if anything, if I can start peeling shields off of this Drapion here, I know that if I get an Ice Beam on my Jellicent, or even an Iron Head up on my Scizor, I'm going to be able to do a lot of work. Now, opponent goes and throws a move. I am going to shield this as well. I'm putting everything into my Quillfish because I know their entire team. And my opponent comes in with a Scrafty, and I'm going to go straight for the Sludge Wave to punish them. Hopefully they think this is just an Aqua Tail, and I'm going to be able to hit them with said Sludge Wave. That's a lot of damage! I didn't hit the Kaboom button. I owe you guys 2 Kabooms. So my opponent's going to throw the Foul Play here. I'm kind of expecting at this point to either Bubble Down or get to an Ice Beam. I'm going to throw the Ice Beam right away to try and pressure my opponent, but they just throw right away, which is it's fine. There's nothing I can do about that. But they are going to now get thrashed by my Shadow Scizor or get farmed down my Quillfish. And I choose to bring in the Quillfish here because I know that I can farm down before they get to a Foul Play. And I'm going to use up all of the rest of my opponent's energy here. And it's just a pup. And they go down to the Poison Sting that I snuck through. So I'm going to be able to get the Soccer Tail off right on this Drapion, take the last shield, and then Scizor is going to come in and close this game out. Quillfish almost soloing this entire team. Magical. It's just magical. And I can survive any one move that this Drapion throws at me. Crunch does like 85, 90%, but the Poison Stings, yeah, it's like, it does enough, but it's not. Good game. My opponent did the Quillfish. As soon as I saw the Azu come in, I was just like, oh yeah, Quillfish is some good stuff. All right, Gengar, this is actually really rough. My Scizor evenly matches it to the Shadow Punch, and my Quillfish is going to be able to outpace it, but they swap out, storing the energy on that Shadow Punch, and they bring in the Mandibuzz, expecting me to throw the Night Slash. So we both have a simultaneous attempt at swapping out to try and catch a move, and we both end up just in this neutral matchup. So that's all right. I can keep this away from my Jellicent, and honestly, I'm keeping it away from Scizor too. Mandibuzz is a pain in the rear for Scizor to deal with, even though it's pretty good damage that it puts out with the bullet punches. But man, Night Slash being the bait move is not ideal for the Scizor against the Mandibuzz matchup. It has to land the Iron Head to really do anything or get a boost. So my opponent goes for the Foul Play here. I figure they got a Gengar. They got a Scizor. I think I'd rather get energy on the Scizor, but we lag. We lag. And my opponent undercharges it. I think that there was lag. I've seen a lot lately of this issue where the game lags, and even though you're doing the mini game for the charge move, it does like you didn't do any damage. So really unfortunate for my opponent here that my Quillfish is going to be able to do as much as it's going to do. But basically, the only other way that I would have played this out is I would have farmed down with my Scizor, and then I would have had a Night Slash and a half for when the Gengar came back in. And I would have done something very similar to right here. So my opponent's going to come with Umbreon. I'm going to try my best to get to the Sludge Wave, and I'm going to get there right before they take me out with the Snarl damage. Gonna get this Sludge Wave off, and then I'm gonna bring in my Scizor, I believe, to finish. Nope, I'm gonna bring in Jellicent to absorb the energy and the damage. Gonna try and get an Ice Beam off on it anyway. And then I'm gonna let Scizor finish. Totally what my plan was. I did these battles a few days ago, folks. I'm sorry if I'm not remembering everything correctly, but I know now that I can survive 2 Foul Plays for an Umbreon, which is actually really interesting. And it's totally fine with me. Going to be able to get to this Ice Beam here, threaten the shield off of my opponent, and I'm very close to an Iron Head. I only think I need like 3 or 4 more bullet punches, so I know that my Scizor can definitely hang tight long enough to absorb 1 Foul Play here, and then I think I'm just 1 bullet punch away from the Iron Head, and that's going to be a good game. Very close to taking me out. Shadow Scizor is so squishy, but man, does it hit like an absolute truck. So good game to my opponent there. Very close, but I was able to get there with the Mandibuzz also taken out by that 1 bullet punch before they could get a fast move off on me as well. So Scizor and Drapion. This is one of those leads where I really can't swap out. I don't have an excellent answer to a Drapion in the back. So that's kind of what my Scizor is for, right? So I'm gonna farm up to an Iron Head basically, and I'm gonna bait with Night Slash at least a couple times. My opponent, once they see that Crunch go through, they almost always want to shield to try and win the lead because they think they can. But Poison Sting does so little damage to a Shadow Scizor, even a regular Scizor, any Scizor at all, that it doesn't matter if they try and play this out. I'm going to be able to get both shields and or win the lead. So I will shield this one. You know, spend a shield, get a shield. You know how it goes. I'm going to throw this Night Slash here. I know that if my opponent does let this go, I should be able to Bullet Punch down with just enough HP left to survive the matchup. And they do let it go. So 2 Bullet Punches is all it's going to take. 1, 2, folks. There it goes. Done. All right, Scizor wins the lead, and in comes Nazu, and now we've won the RPS game, because now my Quillfish comes in, and what's my opponent going to have in the back, but probably not a counter to a Quillfish. They come in with Frostlass, and while Frostlass is definitely dangerous, because it could Shadow Ball my Jellicent, and that would be a problem. But I have a shield, so I'm going to try and play this out. Let them just throw their move if they get to it, but they do not get to it in time. I think they were over-farming a bit, being a bit greedy on energy, rather than throwing right away, which is fine. But the Shadow Ball takes them out, and I think they were expecting a, a Bubble Beam there. I don't play Bubble Beam, folks, so bang. All right, Scizor into Mandibuzz. I think this is the game where Scizor goes on a rip. All right, so we're gonna watch this. Watch this. I can't really swap in anything on this here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bait the Iron Head. Now, if I spend a shield, and it's been pretty consistent. Every time I spend a shield on the first move, and I throw the Iron Head, or I throw the Night Slash, baiting with I cannot speak today. I bait with the Night Slash as if I was going to throw an Iron Head, and I almost always get a shield from the Mandibuzz. And now I'm going to go right into Quillfish, because they are running Air Slash, which makes it a lot easier for Jellicent, because we get to the moves at the exact same time, and I know that I can live one. So what I'm doing here, this is not the game where Scizor went on a rip. I might not have even recorded it if all I'm there. But what I want to do is I want them to take an Ice Beam. I want my opponent to take an Ice Beam to the face. Let's see if my opponent takes an Ice Beam to the face, because they don't. They didn't expect it, and now Mandibuzz is going to go down. But not before they get to a move. So, does Jellicent shield? Yeah, we're going to shield the Jellicent. I'm going to keep it alive. They didn't swap anything out, so I have a feeling that they might not have a solid answer to my Jellicent in the back. We're going to find out, though. What are they going to bring in? Going to bring in Forretress. So, not a super strong answer to my Jellicent. I'm going to throw the Shadow Ball here. I'm going to kind of hope that I can try and get to another Shadow Ball. The Bug Bite damage is small but resisted. Let's see if I can get there. No, not quite. Nope, just one turn too late, but that's okay. Even though the Forretress has a bunch of energy stored and I have no shields left, my Scizor does have a Night Slash ready to go. And it is going to take them a little bit of time to get to the Earthquake, so I want them to throw their energy right now, and they can take me out. And then what I can do is I can use my Quillfish to get to the Aqua Tail before they can get to an Earthquake and take me out. So, Quillfish comes in, and guess what? It's a Nidoqueen! And guess what? Can't outpace Quillfish to a strong move. It's Nidoqueen. Oh, yeah. So, a couple Aqua Tails are going to take out this Nidoqueen, and then Quillfish is going to put the hurt on this Forretress in about a minute. I'm not letting them get to more than 8. I know Quillfish does win CMP against Nidoqueen, so on 8 I have to throw the Aqua Tail, or they will hit me with an Earth Power. Takes out Nidoqueen, and then 4 Aqua Tails, or 4 Poison Stings to the Aqua Tail is all it's going to take for me to get this Forretress either out of here or very low to the point where I can Poison Sting it down, and that will be a good game. 1 HP, but it's okay, Poison Sting takes it out anyway. That's a good game. Alright, folks, I got one more game for you in this video. Mandibuzz lead. Oh, maybe I did record it. Is this the one? I hope this is the one. I had one game where Shadow Scizor got like 2 boosts and went on an absolute rip against Mandibuzz. Alright. Shielding up the move, as again, we've seen this last time. I'm going to shield this up, and then going to throw 1. Going to bait with a Night Slash, and we're going to see what happens. Take a drink. Night Slash goes through, gets the shield, and there's the boost. This is the game. This is where Shadow Scizor gets 2 boosts and rips this Mandibuzz in 2. Alright, but I don't shield it. I try not to fall for the whole, you know, I guess it doesn't go on a rip necessarily. I was trying not to fall for the whole, you know, goes on an absolute rip. I was trying to get both shields off my opponent, and I didn't get another boost. I go for the Night Slash. Oh, dude. Quadruple boosted Shadow Scizor throwing a resisted Night Slash. How much damage does that do? It doesn't. Yeah, it does enough. It's alright. I did not want to go down no shields. That was why I let it go. Even though I got the boost, I did not want to go down no shields because I knew that my opponent could easily win that matchup if they wanted to. You see how much energy they had. They would have been able to easily outpace me because they're running Snarl. But that's fine. Able to farm down with Jellicent? What do they got back there? Let's find out. Another Nidoqueen? Maybe. Hey, look! It's a Quillfish! You know what hard walls Jellicent, or is hard walled by Jellicent? It's definitely Quillfish. And they're running Water Gun. So, I'm going to actually save my Jellicent because I feel like there might be a Nidoqueen back there. My opponent doesn't even get to the Aqua Tail in time. That's the thing why I don't like running Water Gun, is because it takes too long to get to moves. Like, Poison Sting does way more damage, and it's actually Toxicroak. But because I had the Jellicent, my opponent let it go. And that's it. Good game. Very good games. I went on an absolute rip with this team. I think that in this video, I think I went on like let's see, what was it? 5, 4, 2. It was like a 12-3 run with this team in this video. And I ended up here with a 5-0 at the end. This is an excellent team. I'm seeing a lot more Shadow Scizors lately, and the game kind of sucks the way it is right now. But if you want to play a really fun, really not necessarily meta, because God, I hate all the Dark Poison teams, dude. This team right here can deal with Dark Poison teams. I'll tell you right now. This is it, man. That was the video. All these battles. Thank you very much for sticking through this video with me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments how the Halloween Cup and how GBL is going for you. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe if you'd like to see more in the future. Trust me, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. I got plenty of content and more than I know what to do with, and more time than I have to record, to be honest. But thank you everybody for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Goodbye.